So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of our season 3 here on our F1 23 Manager career mode. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode in Jeddah, you've got to start watching these episodes because, my word, was it a decent Grand Prix. We went to Saudi Arabia, we qualified shockingly, and then we got a podium. Lando Norris getting a podium. Fantastic work from him, beating Esteban Ocon, who it must be said he's doing quite well in the Mercedes at this moment in time. Pierre Gasly only good enough for P10 on the day. A little bit unlucky with a bit of traffic that he encountered, but a decent race all in all. Standings-wise, it does mean that we are second in the constructors behind Red Bull at this moment. Mercedes, Ferrari and Haas very much in the fight, as are Aston Martin. It's very close between these top 5 or 6 teams this year. Driver standings-wise, Max Verstappen leading the way by just a point to his teammate George Russell. I expect George Russell to have one hell of a fight this year with Max Verstappen at Red Bull in the same car. Lando Norris at the moment in P3, just above Théo Pourchaire, who's been absolutely wonderful as a driver to watch from afar this year. And Pierre Gasly is just languishing down in 11th at the moment. He will hope that we will have a better race today at Albert Park. Just to bring you up to date on the car part developments, we are developing the front wing and rear wing. We aren't going to be manufacturing these upgrades. We'll manufacture the ones after. That's what we do now to make sure we stay under the cost cap. We were doing some suspension, but unfortunately it's been delayed massively. So the suspension that we weren't going to manufacture, we now have. So we do have a bit better suspension on the car for this weekend, or will by the time it comes round. So that manufactured suspension will be on the car, at least on Pierre Gasly's car, I believe. Maybe not on both cars for this weekend, but we'll see how it goes production-wise. Apart from that, we head to Albert Park in Melbourne this weekend. 58 laps round here. Again, this should be a track that suits us with the high-speed cornering, so be aware of that. Expected strategy is a one-stop from medium onto hard, but you can be a bit adventurous and try the two-stop if you wish. That is everything I'm going to get through practice, and once again, see you in qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix. Final flying laps in Q2, and it's got to be said, we are pretty rapid around here. Lando Norris currently in P5, Gasly in P8, but Gasly's gone fastest of all in the middle sector. Lando Norris up to the line. Where is he going to finish? This could be a mighty qualifying. Lando Norris stays P5, Gasly stays P8, but both cars will definitely be in Q3 just by a bit for Pierre Gasly, but that is a fantastic qualifying so far. Both cars in Q3. Final couple of corners in Q3 for Lando Norris. We went out when Max Verstappen did. We wanted to make sure we got a clear run at it, and Lando Norris has green through the first and second sectors. Is he going to improve? Not by enough. He's just 100th of a second behind Théo Pourchaire. Gasly, Zhou and Stroll are done. Let's fast forward towards the end of the session. Is anybody going to gain on Lando? If we can keep the 2 Mercs behind, that'd be ideal, and we have. Wow. That is very, very close indeed. My word. I mean, what are we off pole there? We are 6/10 off Verstappen, but if we look at that, George Russell only a 10.5 in front of us. We are very much on for a podium again. Let's get to the strategies. Right then, guys, split strategies as per usual this season by the looks of it. Lando Norris, he's got on the one stop. Reason behind it, looking at his tyres, I think that's the way to go. Ideally, the 2-stop needs 2 sets of medium compounded tyre, and I would suggest that he's better just going on to the mediums. If we need to change it during the race, we can, but he's in a good position anyway. Pierre Gasly, we can take a few more risks with. He has got a real good tyre selection. He's got one set of softs, but then 3 sets of mediums, to be fair. Pierre Gasly is going to start on the soft compound tyre, absolutely hammer it, and then go on to the mediums, then mediums again. So Pierre Gasly on the 2-stop, Lando on the 1-stop. Could we get another podium? Let me know down in the comments, but let's get to 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix.
The fans here in Melbourne are all set, as are the drivers, heading into 58 laps around Albert Park. And with his helmet on, that trademark smile is gone, but now's the time to focus.
P20 is definitely not where any driver would want to find themselves, but they've got to get their head down and work hard.
But just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine. Brace yourselves for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away
we go. It must be said, I bet Daniel Ricciardo's absolutely fuming down there at the back of the grid. Théo Pourchaire moves across to cover off Lando Norris. Lando Norris on the medium compounder tyre. Everybody around him, apart from Verstappen, on the soft. So he's going to have a real battle on his hands these first couple of laps. If he stays in the DRS, he's going to be sitting pretty indeed. Pierre Gasly straight away losing a couple of positions, but being aggressive on these tyres. He really needs to make moves pretty quickly. We've had a lock-up by the looks of things. It's Schumacher locking up into turn 3. Let's just have a quick look at this. Did it cause any collisions? Mick Schumacher in the Audi. He's been very hit and miss so far this season. And, I mean, it weren't really worth a replay, were it? Not at all, but Mick Schumacher did lock up, believe me, he did. George Russell leads the way now from Verstappen. These medium compounder tyres will come into their own eventually. I just want to make sure that we stay in the DRS of these two cars in front, especially Théo Pourchaire, who again qualified amazingly well in the Alfa Romeo Haas. I can't think of a better season debut from a rookie than this at this moment in time, because Théo Pourchaire running P4 in an Alfa Romeo. Not only that, attacking a Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. My word, but Pierre Gasly now is starting to make some moves done. He's in P11 and he's looking at the other Haas of Nick De Vries. Got another crash on circuit. I'm not quite sure who it is. Let's find out. Oh no. Daniel Ricciardo. It's his own Grand Prix and Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda, what on earth are you doing to your teammate there? Daniel Ricciardo is going to be absolutely livid. And the Hugo Boss, my word, their team is not performing operationally at this moment in time. Must be said, Lando Norris, this double helping of DRS is helping him quite a bit at this moment in time. He's just staving off these soft compound tyre runners at the moment, and it's helping massively, because then he's just going to catch up to Pourchaire and Leclerc. The podium is on. Pierre Gasly in P11 at the moment will be looking to get past this Alfa Romeo Haas of Nick De Vries very, very quickly. We've had another crash on circuit, and this time it's Pourchaire and Leclerc going side by side. We can see Lando Norris just braked a little bit there, and that has massively helped us. My word. Lando Norris is down the road. The Ferrari has crashed into Pourchaire or vice versa, caused a massive backup of cars. I hope to God this doesn't cause a safety car, because if it doesn't, look at Lando Norris, 1.8 seconds gap to Ocon. He could be in a race of his own here. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly is now up to P9. He's only 1.3 seconds off De Vries. He's got caught up in that a little bit, but will now be pushing once again. That has worked beautifully for Lando Norris. You don't want to see that from Pourchaire and Leclerc, but my word, has it helped us. Lap 5. Lap 15, we bring you back. There's not been too much to tell you about. Pierre Gasly is stuck in the DRS train of DRS trains here with these guys in front, Joe, Stroll and De Vries. He just can't seem to get past them. He's been aggressive, but not managing to get past. We're actually considering just saving a little bit of fuel here, because we're just burning up as tyres for no reason. Lando Norris, 3.2 second gap to Carlos Sainz, 3.2 second gap to Max Verstappen. Not much you can do at this moment in time. Pierre Gasly, he's just going to be told to just top up his ERS a little bit as well. He's managed to get past Zhou Guanyu, but he's going to be coming in a few laps, so then we can really push once he's boxed. But lap 15, Gasly in P8 and Lando Norris in P3. We'll watch this overtake at this moment in time as well, because here is Pierre Gasly going for the move on Zhou Guanyu. Lovely move up into P8. And I reckon he's better than these cars around him. I reckon he's going to beat these cars around him today, Pierre Gasly. Lovely work from him. But Lando Norris is having as calm a race as you are likely to see. Pourchaire, by the way, for that incident with Charles Leclerc, did get a 5-second penalty, which will need to be served. Pierre Gasly in to the pits. We've seen Lance Stroll pit. I would like to get in and get some fresh compound tyres. If we could, I'd like to get out in front of Schumacher and Stroll if we possibly could. But let's hope we have a good pit stop from our team. It doesn't look bad so far. 3.1, it's not bad. Gasly is out of the pit lane. Where is Stroll and Schumacher? Schumacher and Stroll just coming down the pit straight. Gasly trundling out. Oh, we're going to get out in front of these two. It's going to be very, very close, but I don't think we're going to. Stroll is out just in front of Gasly, but now he can really push on these medium tyres now, can Pierre. We do have options with Pierre Gasly, like we have options with Lando Norris, but at the moment, we are doing just fine. Just managing everything. We are going to start conserving a little bit of fuel here as well, but we're managing everything lovely. Gap to Sainz is 3.3 seconds. I think that's just enough to stave off the undercut as well, so lovely stuff. We've had the first one of the Mercedes pit, and it is Esteban Ocon, who's gone into a set of medium compounder tyres. That would suggest to me he's on a 2-stop. Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz, it's looked like we're sticking to the 1-stop, and at the moment we're just conserving a little bit of fuel as well. Everything going in our favour at this moment in time. We'll be pitting in around 3 or 4 laps time. I'm wanting to hopefully see these guys pit. That's my idea. If we can get Bottas, Giovinazzi, Piastri, if these guys start pitting, then we should have some clean air to come out into. So we might go a little bit longer on these tyres at the moment. Lap 22, we are just monitoring the situation now. It's looking like probably in the next 2 or 3 laps we're going to be in. I might leave it a little bit longer. I just want to make sure when Sainz pits, I mean, we're gaining on Sainz here all the time. We've now pulled the gap to 5.7 seconds. Ocon is the man I'm watching. He's currently on... He probably would just get in front of us, but I think he's got to stop again. Verstappen's pitting now. Gasly is doing everything he possibly can to make his way through this traffic, but just doesn't seem to have the pace at this moment in time. Lap 23, Verstappen pits from the lead. 25, Carlos Sainz in to the pits. Now, this is going to be very telling. It's a slow stop as well. Oh, my word, Mercedes. That is not going to go down well. We're pushing. That would probably mean to us now we are going to box on this next lap. But let's just see, where is Carlos Sainz going to come out? He's going to come out behind Pierre Gasly, who's fighting tooth and nail in this Grand Prix for not much reward at this moment in time. But here we are. Lando Norris now leads the Grand Prix. If he pits next, he should come out in front of Esteban Ocon. What could be the most crucial pit stop so far this year? And Lando Norris is in from the lead of the race onto the hard compounder tyre. I reckon he's going to come out just behind Esteban Ocon and in front of Valtteri Bottas. Let's hope it's a good stop from the guys. It looks pretty good. 3 seconds. We will take it. Where is Esteban Ocon? Coming around the final couple of corners. If we can get out in front of Esteban Ocon here, we are cooking on gas. And saying that, we might even get out in front of Checo Perez, but we are out miles in front of Esteban Ocon. And now it's all about just managing these tyres to the end, getting the fuel in check. We'll actually hopefully catch up with Perez quite quickly here. We're going to go medium on the aggression. We don't need to really overtake Perez as a matter of urgency, but if we could get a couple of laps of DRS off him, that would be ideal. Ocon's tyres on 82%, but remember, he's got to pit again. We are going to the end. Lap 26. Norris on for a podium. And Pierre Gasly is finally starting to make his way through. He's past Oscar Piastri. Fantastic work from him. Now he's just got to catch Lance Stroll in that Aston Martin. That's what he's going for. But great work from Pierre once again. Up now in to P8, I believe that is. He's only a little bit off Stroll. We're just telling him to burn the ERS a little bit. He's comfortable on the tyres. Lando Norris has lost time to Ocon almost immediately, which we did expect. Do you know what I mean? Let's not suggest that we didn't, but Ocon, I would suggest he's going to be pitting again. I can't see him going to the end on those medium compounder tyres. I'm not actually that arsed if he gets past us. We just need to stick with him for a little bit. If he does, and then, yeah, then we'll just save a bit of fuel. Everything will be fine and dandy, so that works for us as well if we can keep in the DRS. Must be said as well, we're going to get a replay of this very shortly, I would imagine, but Esteban Ocon's just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We'll watch the overtake. Esteban Ocon got the DRS. Lando Norris didn't really fight it, to be fair. Just let him pass. No need to fight it too much. We can see Pierre Gasly a little bit further down the road here. But yeah, got the job done into turn 1, did Esteban Ocon. Now all we're going to try and do now is just stick with Esteban Ocon. Stick with him, then we will manage to just close the gap, keep in the DRS, save a bit of fuel. The double helping of DRS, the start finish straight and the one after will really help as well. And in situations like this, we look like we've got the pace to keep with Esteban Ocon, and it must be said, our tyres now are very comfortably going to the end, so that works for us very well. Pierre Gasly now on the back of Valtteri Bottas as we just cut to his other driver, attacking the Audi, just keeping him in check. He's pushing on everything. He's going to be pitting again towards the end of this Grand Prix. I'm not convinced the 2-stop was the way to go so far, but Lando Norris doing what he has to do again. Just ticking onto the back of the Mercedes. Lovely stuff. Now, this could be a crucial moment in this Grand Prix for Esteban Ocon because he's managed to get past Checo Perez, who once again is staying out on his tyres probably long after everybody else. But Checo Perez now is past him. Now, hopefully, we can get past Checo Perez quite quickly as well because we certainly need to. As we are pushing up towards the back of him, he's not. Esteban Ocon's not going to get DRS. Perez will, and we will. So this helps us massively here. But Lando Norris at the moment doing just enough. I am concerned about fuel at the moment as well. for both cars. But at the moment, just doing enough to stay in the DRS is Lando Norris. And again, here we go. DRS again. It's helping Perez massively as well. We could do with Perez probably pitting this lap. If he decides to pit this lap, then yeah, we're laughing. But I'm sure that Esteban Ocon must be pitting again before the end of this Grand Prix. And really, the gap to Sainz was the one we were watching. But that Mercedes pit stop cost him massively. Let's just see. Does Perez pit here? No, he doesn't. He carries on again. Does Checo Perez, and Lando Norris now will be trying to get past him as quick as he can. Lap 30, Pierre Gasly getting past Valtteri Bottas in the Audi round the outside. Lovely work, as you would expect from Pierre. Fantastic for him. Up into P7, I believe that is. Lando Norris is still on the back of Checo Perez, but Checo Perez is starting to lose touch with Esteban Ocon, and now would be the time. He's still got DRS down this straight. But if he doesn't get it down the next one, I believe he will, though. It's very difficult, this, for Esteban Ocon. He's got to make the move, but equally, he can't risk his race on it. It's not worth risking his race on it. Will he go for the move here? Perez can just not get out of the way. And Lando Norris again stuck. And now we've got a back marker to negotiate as well. I believe that's Daniel Ricciardo, who it must be said he's having a pretty shambolic home race here. Right, this could be the moment, and we have got to make this count, and we've got to make it count now, because I think Perez has just lost DRS. He's got to get past Checo Perez here as Lando Norris, and it doesn't look like at the moment Perez is going to let him pass. Now it is time to be aggressive on the overtake, because Esteban Ocon is skedaddling up the road. Technical F1 turn there for you. But Lando Norris now round the outside. He's got to make this move stick. He brakes later than the Ferrari. Side by side. I've got my heart in my mouth as I'm watching this, because if one mistake here, but Lando Norris is past Checo Perez. What on earth he's waiting for? If he's trying to, he might be trying to one-stop onto softs maybe. If he did, that's quite an achievement. If Esteban Ocon's doing that, we will catch him, but we are finally past him. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly conserving fuel nicely and also attacking well, we've got a back marker in his way, which I'm not too impressed with at all, because the back marker is so much in his way here that it's allowed Lance Stroll through, and Pierre Gasly's not been able to follow him through. Delightful. Lance Stroll being overtaken by Pierre Gasly. He's managed to get up into P6. Great work from him. You can see Checo Perez in front of him as well, can Pierre Gasly. Obviously, he's got to pit again onto a fresh set of medium compound tyres. He's going to be rapid towards the end of this Grand Prix. He's been conserving fuel. In fact, he's now fine on the fuel. But this is the interesting one, because Lando Norris has been pushing like mad on everything to get in the DRS of Esteban Ocon, whose tyres are starting to go off. This is looking very promising indeed. And I think we're very much in the DRS, and that means conserve fuel and chill out and get a podium. That's what that means. Pierre Gasly managing to get past Lance Stroll once again round the outside. Lovely work from him, and that has been a good move once again. He's now got Zhou Guanyu that he's looking after, trying to catch him. But we do have a crash on the circuit. Let's have a look at this. Safety car would be the worst thing in the... Oh my word. The leaders, both Red Bulls leading. Are they going to collide? They are. And Max Verstappen, I believe Max Verstappen was just shoved off by George Russell. And it's anarchy at Red Bull. And what that may mean, if both cars have got damage, Lando Norris is in a position here to profit from this. I don't know if either of them have got damage. That is the only key thing here. Looking at the cars, they both look pretty much all right. But at the moment, Esteban Ocon is just pulling Lando Norris along, who's conserved fuel and topped up his ERS. Pierre Gasly's got one more pit stop to go. Now, we've just seen George Russell into the pits, which we're not too worried about, because what that means for us is that we are now in net P2, because Ocon, I'm guessing, is going to pit again. Max Verstappen, if we just have a look at the tyre history, has had 2 sets of mediums, so he's on a 2-stop as well. Lando Norris on the 1-stop. Could we win this? We could just do with now getting past the car of Esteban Ocon, because if we can get past this now, I reckon we run away with this, and it's now time to push on. Lando Norris has made the move. He's got past Esteban Ocon with the DRS wide open, and now we can hopefully start to drop this Mercedes. The man we are looking at is George Russell. Let's have a look at the gap between us and him. It's around 9 seconds is the gap between us and Russell. Russell, who is on medium compound tyre. Now, with no reason for us to use our tyres up now at all, we just want to ensure that we just keep ticking along nicely. I mean, Ocon's going for a move here. I mean, if Ocon smashes us off, I'm going to be more than annoyed. But Pierre Gasly as well, currently at the lead of this train. If he slows up George Russell, that could be absolutely blinding for his teammates' race. We saw Ocon overtake Norris. We know it's around 20 seconds for a pit stop. It's going to put him down towards P14, but he can battle back from there, can Pierre Gasly. He'll be in very, very shortly. And on lap 40, in comes Pierre Gasly on the 2-stop. Whether this was the right strategy call, I'm not sure. But what we are looking at, we are starting to harvest energy now, because I reckon we're going to be fighting with George Russell at the end. In comes Pierre Gasly. It's a good stop again from the Andretti boys, 2.7. We shall take that all day long. I'm expecting him to come out in front of Bottas, but behind Porsche. Gasly does come trundling out of the pit lane. Porsche is past him, but now we are on super fresh tyres, and we should start to see Pierre Gasly motoring along. He don't have to worry about fuel. He don't particularly have to worry about anything, Pierre Gasly. He can just go for it now. 42, Lando Norris once again getting past Esteban Ocon. They actually touch wheels there into that corner, but Lando Norris now has the far better tyres, and I'm hoping with the aid of this Hugo Boss in front of us that we can now drop this Mercedes. That's the plan, at least. Ocon is very close to Lando Norris, but I'm hoping, like I say, I want the tyres at the end of this race, because we're going to have to fight a couple of Red Bulls at the end of this race. Gasly's just overtaken Bottas. We've just missed that highlight slightly. But here we go, Lando Norris. If he can get up towards this back marker before the start-finish straight, we should be able to hold off this Mercedes. And we're also looking at Carlos Sainz as well. But Ocon's going for the move again. We can't seem to shake off Esteban Ocon, who whether he just don't like us because of the Andretti, but this could be the chance, because I reckon we've got DRS here. We can see Carlos Sainz behind. We're shoved a little bit wide, but we are now going to get a double dosage of this. And this, surely we got the DRS, did we not? Oh, that's a bit controversial. I thought we had got the DRS there. And looking at the people's tyres around us, there's George Russell's the major threat. We're going to be strong at the end, but we just cannot seem to get past this bloody Mercedes. Anybody thinking that Esteban Ocon might be doing a job for his teammate would be absolutely bang correct, because Esteban Ocon has slowed us up that much. We are now in fighting distance, striking distance, should I say, of Carlos Sainz. George Russell is in this pack as well on the fresh mediums. I still reckon towards the end, we're going to have the tyres to do this. Gasly's just overtaken Charles Leclerc. Let's have a look at that. As we see Pierre Gasly up now in to P12, I believe that is. Let's just have a quick look. Got the job done nice and easy there with the new fresh mediums. Actually into the points now is Pierre Gasly's got an 8-second gap to push towards Alexander Albon, but we are going to tell him to get pushing now indeed. But we are conserving tyres here. We know what we've got to do. Sainz and Ocon are not the threat. The threat is George Russell, who in 13 laps time will have the worst tyres than us. And that is when we can really start putting a gap, well, getting in the fight for the win. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen is on soft compound tyres. Expect to see him in this battle, and he will be absolutely raging on the radio at this moment, as Lando Norris has just taken the lead of the Grand Prix. And are we going to get DRS down here? Yes, we are we? No, the Mercedes has got it once again. So the Mercedes of Ocon again gets the DRS, as does Sainz, as does Russell. This is a little bit problematic here. We're going to tell him to deploy ERS here, because I do not want to be at the back of this train. That would be absolutely criminal. And Lando Norris has ensured that we haven't done that. 12 laps to go. It's going to be a breathless finish. And on lap 46, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Pierre Gasly. We have a crash on circuit. It's not caused a safety car, but it's Max Verstappen. Oh, has he crashed again? Max Verstappen in the wars again, smashing off the Aston Martin. He sounds like he's a very frustrated man, does our Max Verstappen at this moment in time. Meanwhile, we are back on the fight with this, and this time we are going for it. We want to attack down this first DRS straight. We've got the move done, and now we're going to try and push away on the hard compound tyres. I reckon this is the moment now. Ocon holding up George Russell. We could do with George Russell not getting past here, which he certainly looks like he has done. Esteban Ocon, he's fighting with George Russell tooth and nail. But now Lando Norris is trying to push on down the road. Oh my word, this is going to be one hell of an ending to this Grand Prix, ladies and gents. Right, George Russell has just managed to overtake Lando Norris. Esteban Ocon did pit again. Must be said, he's done a fantastic job for his teammates today. We can see them battling behind. But George Russell round the outside, lovely move to be fair, in that Red Bull, fighting Lando Norris. But, this is important because now, if we can stay in the DRS, I reckon for another sort of 5 or 10 laps, well, another 6 or 7 laps, I would suggest. If we can stay in the DRS, we can win this race with Lando Norris. The only man who might have a say in that is Max Verstappen, but that has knackered his tyres up, that incident. So it is a straight fight now between Norris and Russell, the two British drivers, one in an Andretti Cadillac and one in a Ford Red Bull, to see who can win this. My word, this is going to be one hell of an ending to this episode. Lap 52, we're keeping an eye on Pierre Gasly, who's just caught up to the back of Alexander Albon. He's got a flying Esteban Ocon behind him, who's just set up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But I would expect Gasly to defend against Ocon. To be fair, on those tyres, we may lose that position. But I'm looking at Albon, possibly De Vries, that we could get some more points for Pierre Gasly today. But Lando Norris at the moment is just doing enough. Sainz is going to drop off. It's not a fight with Carlos Sainz. It's a fight with George Russell. And at the moment, we're doing everything we need to do to stay with the lead Red Bull. 6 laps to go. We've just seen Esteban Ocon overtake Pierre Gasly. And to be fair, it's soft versus mediums. And yeah, there weren't too much we could do about it. Gasly, I mean, look at that for a lunge. Look at the grip Esteban Ocon's got, and he will enjoy that against his former team principal, I'm sure. But Esteban Ocon up into P9. I'm sure we're going to get past a couple of these. But we are doing at the moment just enough, staying in this DRS. It's going to be a grandstand finish. I mean, we're even charging up a bit of battery as well. We're doing everything here. Sainz is going to drop off. Verstappen's not a threat. Come on, Lando. Pierre Gasly still making moves. I know we're focusing on Lando, but he's got round Nick De Vries beautifully there, Pierre Gasly. And now he's got an Aston Martin. He loves fighting with Aston Martin, does that Pierre Gasly. And to be fair, he might get past him here as well. He doesn't. He chooses not to dive down the inside, or does he? No, he doesn't. He's still got Albon in front of him, but he's all over the back of that Aston Martin. And to be fair, I think P6 is on the cards. Again, we don't really want to be in front going on to the last lap, Lando, here. That is not what we want to be doing. We need to be behind at this stage in a couple of laps' time. And this is it. Final lap of the Grand Prix. And it is George Russell versus Lando Norris for the win. And we have got to make the move now. We've got to make the move. It's aggressive on absolutely everything. Lando Norris, can he get the job done down here? He's going to get the run down the outside. Lando Norris going head-to-head with the Red Bull of George Russell. Round the outside on the final lap of the Grand Prix. This is absolutely everything here at the Albert Park circuit. He's passed George Russell at the moment. We're just going to go back to neutral for the moment. Always defend, because he has got to just get through this final couple of sectors, and if he does, we will win the Australian Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly in P6. It's job done for Pierre Gasly. He can deploy a bit, but it's all eyes on Lando Norris. He's going to get this. He's going to have to defend a little bit more here, but my word, could he possibly? Battle assist is on. This is it. He's got to defend down this DRS straight. He's defending. He's Lando Norris. Russell, he's looking left and right, trying to make a move on Lando Norris. But as we enter the final sector here at the Albert Park circuit, Lando Norris leads going into the final couple of corners. Deploy. Give it absolutely everything. It's a long run down to the line here in Australia. Will George Russell manage to get past Lando Norris? It doesn't look like he will. And Lando Norris wins for Andretti Cadillac. We have won once again. It's the 3rd race of the season, and Lando bloody Norris, wins the Australian Grand Prix. I can't speak. I'm that excited, but look at that. He got that absolutely perfect. Did Lando Norris. Drove to perfection. You will not see a better drive this season than that from Lando Norris. My word. Pierre Gasly comes home a very respectable P6. But my God, let's get to the podium. I can't even speak. Get me that champagne, boys.
What a remarkable drive by Lando Norris today.
It was a truly excellent win, with everything working together for the team and driver.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. Lando Norris certainly loves a podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
Their first win in Formula One, and hopefully a bright future lies ahead of them.
Wow, that is Lando Norris's first win of his career, and it's coming in Andretti Cadillac. McLaren will be looking up at this, not very happy. I mean, we can look at George Russell, who looks absolutely dismayed on the left-hand side, but drink it in because Lando Norris wins for Andretti. What a time this is at the American team. We have done so well here at Andretti Cadillac. That, gaining 4 positions, yes, we had a little bit of luck with Verstappen's mishap, but George Russell could not quite pull it off. Lando Norris could. Pierre Gasly in at P6. Perez gaining 9 positions into P5. That strategy for Ferrari did work in the end. Sainz came P3, Ocon P4. Good result for Mercedes once again. Albon P7, De Vries P8, and Zhou and Verstappen in 9th and 10th. We did get 2 DNFs, did we not? No, I thought we had got a DNF. We hadn't, but the Hugo Boss cars had a rotten day at the back. Driver standings-wise, drink this in. Lando Norris is now in P2 in the driver's standings. He is in a title fight at the moment with George Russell and Max Verstappen. Pierre Gasly, respectable 8 points gained. He's now level with Lance Stroll. And, I mean, constructors-wise, we are the second best team behind Red Bull. Yes, we're 47 behind, but don't let that fool you, because we look a pretty good outfit this season. Please do like and subscribe. My word, podiums and winning races. It's only took 3 seasons, but now we're here to stay. Ta-ra!